Thank you, Professor Myers. Hello, my name is Baldasarre, and I am a member of the class of 2012. I am majoring in history and music here at Gettysburg College. I am from Hagerstown, Maryland, but I have spent this past summer in Gettysburg serving as this year's Student Orientation Coordinator. I am so excited to officially welcome you, the class of 2015, to Gettysburg College. I am so excited that you all have finally arrived, but I'm also a little nervous because it makes my job so much more real. 3 years ago, I remember sitting right where you are today. I was on the left side, maybe about halfway up. I remember listening to my orientation coordinator talk, and one of the things that he said was that he knew that he wanted to be the orientation coordinator from day one. The first thought that ran through my head was that will never be me. Partly because I knew nothing about event planning, and partly because I hate public speaking and couldn't imagine standing on this stage in front of you today. But before I tell you a little bit about my Gettysburg experience and how I have been inspired to be Gettysburg great, take a moment to introduce yourself to the person directly in front of you and the one behind you. Okay, now you know two new people. These people will become your best friends, your support system, your family away from home. Obviously, the main point of a college education is to learn. That's what you're here for. But, as we heard from Gail Sweezy, you did more in high school than just go to class. Many of you were involved in sports. Did you learn anything besides the game? Some of you were in the marching band. How did your experience influence your thinking? I think everyone had to do some kind of community service in high school, but what did you really learn from it? I would think that you learned a lot from these different things. Maybe you learned about time management. Maybe you learned some social skills. Maybe you learned how to communicate more effectively. I have certainly learned both inside and outside of the classroom during my 3 years at Gettysburg. Not all learning takes place in the classroom or is measured by exams. I have learned about myself, that I am capable of more than I ever imagined. I have learned about others and how we all fit into the Gettysburg community. My journey at Gettysburg College has been a story of self-awareness and personal growth. It started in my first-year seminar. It was Death and the Meaning of Life, and obviously it was with Professor Myers. Let me tell you, I had no idea of what I was getting myself into. On the first day of class, we were told that our final assignment would be to write our own funeral plans. There was no test, no exam, no right or wrong answers. The only thing that was necessary to complete the assignment was thought and self-reflection. In a few short months, there are 16 of you who will be writing your own funeral plans and imagining how you will die one day. If you don't feel ready to do that now, don't worry. I didn't feel ready to do it even when I was writing. But what other way is there to learn besides to step out of your comfort zone? Once you imagine your own death, nothing seems quite as hard. The great thing was, Professor Myers was there to help us every step of the way. If we had any questions, we could go to him. We trusted not only our classmates, but also our professor to share both our thoughts and anxieties and to challenge each other. I enjoyed my first-year seminar so much that I am taking another class with Professor Myers this fall. It is a true elective. It does not relate to my major, nor does it fulfill any Gettysburg curriculum requirements that I have not already fulfilled. Although I am interested in the subject, I don't think I would be taking it if I hadn't had such a great experience in my first-year seminar. If you ask me to reflect on my time at Gettysburg, I will have only good things to say. I am a tour guide, and it is always hard to answer the question, what don't you like about Gettysburg College? However, that's not to say that my time here has always been easy. I have run into bumps in the road. I have not always met my goals. I have failed. But those challenges have made me who I am today. During my 3 years, I learned that I can pull an all-nighter to finish a paper. I learned to push myself to my limits, but also how to say no when I can't add one more thing to my schedule without going crazy. I learned that everything cannot always be perfect, no matter how hard I try sometimes. I learned that doing one small thing, like joining a club during the first semester of my first year, can have an impact that ripples throughout the rest of my life. That club was the Campus Activities Board, and the only reason I joined was because I wanted to get involved, but wasn't sure how. CAB led me to working in the Office of Student Activities and First-Year Programs, and some of the most valuable experiences of my college career. I have worked in the Office of Student Activities and First-Year Programs in multiple different roles, including the attic, public relations, and orientation. Throughout my roles, I have learned many different things. I have learned that the people who are your advisors can become your confidants and some of your biggest supporters. I have learned how to be supervised by my peers and how to supervise my peers. I have learned that everything doesn't work out the way that you want it to. The ice machine will break at the most inopportune time. You will send an email that offends someone and have to deal with the consequences. No matter how many times you read over the publication, you will miss that one tiny comma. But more importantly, I learned that I can do things that I never dreamed of. I can plan a successful event. I can communicate effectively with a wide range of people. I can find a career path in event planning, something that I had never considered before coming to Gettysburg. I learned that I can become close friends with people with whom I didn't think I had anything in common. I learned that I can stand in front of 2,500 people and give a speech. So far, I have received a true liberal arts education from Gettysburg College, and it all started with being told that I would have to write my own funeral plans. Take chances, challenge yourself. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I can't wait to get to know you and see what you will learn and what impact you will make on Gettysburg. Now, it is my honor to introduce the 14th president of our college, alumna Janet Morgan Riggs.